Ambassador Susan Johnson Cook is a trailblazer. She served as the Ambassador of International Religious Freedom under Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and President Barack Obama. She also served under President Bill Clinton as his domestic policy advisor. Ambassador Susan Johnson Cook is now running for Congress for the 13th Congressional District of New York.
So when you win, what is it that you will be able to offer the people of the 13th District that they have not had in the past?
Well, I mean, there's so many issues that are challenging, but I think number one, what I learned in Washington, because as ambassador, many of the congresspersons were my colleagues. I had to work with the House Foreign Affairs Committee. So I think number one, I offer experience. Number two, I think that, of all of the challenges, I listen first to the people in terms of what they think are the priorities. And right now, certainly affordable housing, the mass incarceration of Black and brown men, assisted living. In New York, there are very few places for people to grow old gracefully. And so there's no transitional kind of housing from one season to the other, and debt-free education. As a mother of college sons, my children pack up each season and they go back to school. There are many parents who would like that for their child, and there are many children who would like to be able to do that, but there's not the affordability. And so I'm really an advocate for that, and certainly gender equality.
Wow.
There needs to be a woman's voice at the table, because women do make a difference. So those are the things that I bring. And my website is SusanJohnsonCookForCongress.com, Susan with a Z.
Yes, ma'am.
And anyone can visit us and certainly show their love.
One thing you just said that was very important too, you talked about attaining free education. And earlier we were sharing that I spent 9 years of my military career in Europe. And one thing that I know in Germany, college education was free. But how difficult do you think that will be for America to actually get that?
First, let me say thank you for your service, because the military role is so important. And that's been an ignored group, and so there are many retired veterans, and so I want to certainly work with them in our district as well as re-entry for those who've gone away for whatever reasons, away from the community. But I think it's going to be very difficult, because America has very few who are leading and making the decisions and policy who have wealth, and then the others are really ignored. And I'm a working class family, and I'm for working families, so I'm going to continue to advocate. I come from a working class family, so we have to still have our voices heard, and it's going to take time. But I think one of the things when you're in elected office, you partner with people who also have the similar ideas and issues, and so you work with them. I'd be a freshman congressperson, so I understand you can't come in and change everything, but there have been people working at it. Those are the people I would work with. So legislation and policy determine everything that's going to happen in this country, and so that means you need to be in the House or the U.S. Senate. And so I want to begin in the U.S. House, and we'll see where God takes us from there.
Okay.
Shot. My late parents were just incredible role models. I didn't even know it at the time, but they built a business in our home. So at 5, I was 6 years old. At 6 years old, I understood how to negotiate business. I knew how to write a check. I went with my father to the bank. I saw him, it was a watch guard security agency. I saw him employ men and women of the community. So you have a mindset as an entrepreneur growing up. No matter what field you go into, your business is going to be right. Your books are going to be right. So whether you're a pastor, you say to your trustees or whoever's responsible for finances, let me see my figures. I know what should come in this Sunday, and I know what went out. And so I should know where we are. Not guess at it, not have somebody take that responsibility for you. So I think all of those things and they were very civil rights conscious. And so we had, at that time, encyclopedias. We didn't have, the technology, but we had they called it the Negro Encyclopedia.
Oh, okay.
But it was all these wonderful Black icons and role models that I read about. Jackie Robinson, and of course Martin Luther King was, we had a whole library for King. But I remember just being fascinated to open up the pages and see people who looked like me who were doing wonderful things. So failure was not an option.
Mm-hmm.
I had no excuse not to succeed because all around me was success. From my bedroom where my parents were to the boardroom, I was surrounded by success. So that's what winning in life is about. Surround yourself with the people who've gone where you're trying to go.
The people you surround yourself with play a vital role in how successful you are or how successful you become. Have you surrounded yourself with the type of people that will step over you and say, I'm going to get mine, you get yours the best way you can? Or have you surrounded yourself with those type of people that are willing to tear the roof off to get you to the place you need to be in order to see your dreams come true? Don't surround yourself with those type of people that will step over you and not reach back to pull you up. Surround yourself with those people that have the will to win. I'm reminded of a man in the Bible that had 4 friends that had the will to win. By any means necessary, they were willing to get their friend to the place he needed to be in order to see his dreams come true. The will to win means that you and those surrounding you will take the risks that others would not even dare. The will to win means that you and those surrounding you will break traditions and protocols that are used to keep others in a box. The will to win is not about your condition. The will to win is about your mindset and the mindset of those that are surrounding you. Surround yourself with people that have the will to win.
The second story that you shared that really resonated with me, you talked about how your mom, as a young woman, was in the fields of North Carolina, and she had to pick cotton. But then here you come, flying with the President of the United States of America, going back to that same area where your mom picked cotton. So how surreal was that for you in that moment?
I had a moment. Actually, both my parents were sharecroppers in the beginning. And they just had a destiny in their soul that this is not where we're supposed to be. So they worked hard. But having that moment, standing where my mother had been kneeling, I had a moment. I teared up. I really haven't shared that with the president that I was with in detail. But, I had a moment because I knew the journey.
Yes.
So when you see the real possibility of the American dream coming true, you have to fight. Because it's not just for me, it's for my family and for all those who follow us. And so as my sons go off to college, I'm like, failure is not an option.
Yeah.
First of all, we sacrifice too much money, you cost too much, and we're investing in you.
Yes.
So I think they're understanding the investment, and they're doing quite well. One's in med school, one's in Princeton. And you have 2 African-American men who love school, who love their family, and who love life. So it doesn't get much better than that. But then I'm praying for them. When you asked about my district, they're also targets. They're tracked from 3rd grade. Black and brown boys are tracked from 3rd and 4th grade in terms of the prison pipeline. So having places that we track them positively and put them on their journey is very important. And then they're now on this, they're driving back and forth home. I pray every day and every night, as many mothers do, that they get home safely and that they are able to enjoy the lives that we worked for.
Yeah, so hard.
So hard. So I hope to give them the winning life, and I thank you for the opportunity to share the story.
Yes, and thank you once again for sharing with us on Winning in Life Today. Winning in Life Today, what I would like to say to you is this awesome woman that I have sitting next to me today is an example of how you can win in life, despite what your background may be. Remember, when you're going along your journey, take all of the tools, all of the skills, all of the experiences that you gain along the way. And remember, one of the points that Ambassador Johnson made, you got to be able to get into the game. You can't win, amen, if you don't get into the game. And then also remember the shoulders of those people who you are standing on, your ancestors, those that have also blazed many trails in order for you to have the opportunities that you have today. So, Ambassador, could you please close us out out and tell us what you are doing right now today in order to win in life.
Well, right now what I'm doing is I'm a candidate for the 13th Congressional District. I'm also a pastor. I will never forget what God has done for me. So I'm a minister of the gospel. I call it a paella. I have a lot of Latinos in my district, so I'm a pastor, I'm an author, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a leading lady, and an amazing ambassador and candidate for the Congress. So I'm a paella. But I would say I would take the acronym WIN. W, be a winner, not a whiner, be a warrior, and be on the front lines. I have insight, innovation, be interesting, go somewhere, and never lose your dream. Win in life, and we believe in you. Thank you.
All right, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Winning in Life Today.
Don't be afraid to let go. It's time for you to stand on your own 2 feet and walk. Have you ever noticed that when a baby is ready to walk, the only thing that's holding them back is their fear of letting go? For so long, they've been dependent upon some type of support system to hold them up. And the thought of letting go is a scary feeling. It causes them to wobble. It causes them to be unsure and uncertain. Don't be afraid to let go. You can stand. Yes, you may fall on your first attempt, but that's okay. Your support system is still there. If it's truly a good support system, it will be there for you to pull up on and stand again. Let go. It's time for you to stand on your own 2 feet and walk into your destiny.